Hello, my name is Jasmine Lee, and I am not your mama's astrologer. Welcome to this week. This is one of those big ones. It's one of the ones the astrologers love. Um, last week I was making fun because we had that 888 portal. If you didn't see my ridiculous video on social media, I love all of this stuff. I love the mystical. I love spirit. I love astrology. I love all of that. I just don't love what a hootenanny us spiritual people make about everything. Because here is the thing. When we put grand expectations on any moment in our lives, we ruin it. One way or the other, we ruin it. And I remember this night that I had with my mom, who isn't with me anymore. She passed away, but I had this night with my mom. And it was before I went on a very big exchange program all the way to France. And I had never been away from home more than just a little bit of time. But I had this night with my mom where we were doing nothing. We were just like around the house, and it was 10 o'clock at night. And I think the profundity of the moments must have struck my mom. As a mom, I understand it more now. But as a kid, as a teenager, it was just special. Where she said, "Hey, do you want to go to Sherry's and get waffles?" And I was like, okay. And we went to Sherry's and got waffles, and we had the most amazing chat, the most amazing connection. And you know why it was thus? Was because we didn't plan for it. We didn't need it to be any one way or the other. We didn't push it. We didn't prod it. We didn't pull it. We just simply allowed it. And this is a hard lesson as human beings trying to function in this very complex world that we've created for ourselves, because oftentimes we are in search of meaning. We're in search of the next thing. I mean, we can barely even listen to this 30-minute podcast. We're next. What's next? YouTube shorts. All of these things that are designed to shorten our ability to stay present, to be here now. And it is those beautiful moments that I look back on in my childhood where they were unplanned. That beautiful 10 p.m. waffle with my mom that I remember. It's not the graduations, though they are powerful. It's not the big life milestone moments, the birthdays. They're all wonderful. The holidays, of course. But it's always the pockets within them, the moments that the universe surprises us, brings us our person. And it was in the place we would have least expected, from across a room or a message or an inkling, that I look back on. Those are the moments. And most of the moments that I hold the dearest in my heart are the ones where I was in it and all of a sudden I had this feeling of, oh, this is so special. And then I breathed into it. So when us astrologers are like, it was the 888 portal, or like this week, there is a big eclipse in Leo, and Leo doesn't do stuff small. Leo's big. Leo is grand. Leo makes a scene. So I dare say we've already been feeling it. But either way, it's not the profundity of the moment that I want you to focus on. It's not the eclipse I want you to put all of your, chips into. It is the ability to understand that bigness is upon us and to be able to do life anyway. The ability to let go and see what can surprise you. I think predictive astrology can be really dangerous. I think horoscopes can be really dangerous because whenever we're preaching, and we have been for so long, everything's about to change. New, this. There is this false expectation we have for greatness. And this is such a Leo trap. Oh my God. This is exactly where we're at right now, because Leo is the thing that needs to shed. because it's a south node eclipse. North node, what we're needing to build up is Aquarius. So we're needing to build up a sense of community, innovation in technology, astrology, the ability to see the we instead of just the me, the ability to expand and stretch beyond our little bodies, our little selves, because our souls are so much bigger than ourselves. I'll say it again. Our souls are so much bigger than ourselves and when we do get into that present moment living, boy, does the world need it. All of a sudden, what you were talking about with a friend is playing out outside of the house, at the grocery store, on the Jeopardy question. I think I've said this before a couple weeks ago, that synchronicity is really just the ability to be more aware of everything around you and to be more accountable of how you are playing the game. What if this was just a game? What if we were in a really hard part of the game? Are you the type of person that gives up? Or are you the type of person that throws the remote? Are you the type of person that just silently stresses? Are you the type of person that just vehemently carries on into the midnight hour? What kind of gamer are you? And listen, I'm not a gamer at all. My brother is a big gamer, and boy, did I used to have prolific sessions of sitting watching him play all the games, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, all the games that it was like watching a movie. And when he would get stuck, he would get real frustrated. He was a verbal processor, so to speak. And I would process too with him quietly in my own little stress bubble. And I digress, but what kind of gamer are you? Do you give up? Do you like group projects? Are you a lone wolf? This is kind of the exploration of this week, is that what we need to let go of is being super highlighted in the sky right now with the eclipse coming. It is going to be on Wednesday. It will be Wednesday morning, Pacific time, 10:45. And it is a turning point that teaches us something. And if you feel like you've ascended, oh my God, my least favorite people, the people who are like, nah, I'm good, then you have the biggest lesson coming. Because the news flash of life is there's always a next level, all right? Mario Brothers be always Mario Brothering, all right? There is always going to be a new Bowser. There is always going to be a new hill to climb. And the second you think you're there, well, you enjoy that there, because then you're going to get hit with a different there. And all of a sudden, you're going to tumble right back down. It's like chutes and ladders, or the more ancient version of it is called snakes and arrows, that there are ways in which we are traveling and moving through our karma. And if you don't believe in karma, moving through our lives. And we're bound to repeat things that we aren't getting. You didn't get the memo 10 years ago? Well, you're about to get the memo again. 2014 was the last time, to be exact. So if you can ponder around what you were doing in 2014 to 2015, this is the energy cycle that is repatternizing itself. And now I was a new mom. I had a brand new baby. And so that's not where I'm at right now, but I do have a new baby. And that is this astrology career. And I am trying to nurture it, and I am trying to grow it. And do I have the fortitude to sit at 10 p.m. at night and have some waffles and say, I'm just here with it? That I'm not trying to make it into something that it isn't, that I'm not pushing. I'm allowing it to be present, and I'm allowing myself to dream it. And that is it. Because as a gamer, I was too afraid to even play the game, you guys. It would stress me out. I hate getting chased. I hate when I get to like one of those parts in a game where I just cannot move past it. And what do? I take long breaks from it. I just pretend like it doesn't exist. And, there are ramifications for that. There's good news and bad news about that. The good news is that when I reapproach it, it's usually through a different perspective, and that's helpful. Or I don't come back to it at all. And this astrology career has been so this for me, is that I can't just walk away from it because it is the thing. It is what I am going and choosing every day to do. But when I hit roadblocks of viewership or not enough readings or not feeling held enough in this career to support me and my family, I want to walk away and go get a freaking secretary job or something. No, not that. That would be like the worst thing I can ever think of. I'm far too people oriented to be in front of a computer all day. And digressing again, I know that this is it, that this is the thing. And so I can't just walk away from it, but I can take a moment and I can stay present and I can go get waffles at 10 p.m. if I want to. So today, and this week, we have some helpers here. Venus and Mercury being the two biggest ones. The way we love and the way we think are here to guide us through. It's our little soul guide because we're going to come up with fantasy life this week. And that's okay. Fantasies are dope, but they're not real. They're just what we perceive as what we want. And it's fun to then add Mercury into the mix and really think about if it is what we want anymore, if it is what's serving us anymore. So there's going to be a lot of great conversations that can be had with all of our partnerships, all of the people we are in partnership with, whether it be family, romantic, or business. There's great conversations to be had when you can be your authentic self. This is a week for authenticity. The eclipse says we strip away all that is Leo, which is the ego body, the drama queen, the person that needs attention all the time. And so the medicine for me, stop looking at how many views things are getting. Stop checking how many downloads I have. Stop. Because the obsession and the need to be climbing rapidly is probably the same energy that is stopping me up in the first place. So do the same thing with your life. What is the thing that you do manically? Are you like a social media troll? Do you always have to comment on the stupid person in the forum? Maybe take a step back from that. Do you feel like you're always saying no to people? Say yes. Do you feel like you're always saying yes to people? Say no. It's time to explore a breaking of the habitual self because that is ego-driven. It's like when you go to a restaurant and you order the same damn thing every time. And this bitch does that, all right? I find what I like and I crave it and I look forward to it and then I want it. And I know my ex-husband used to say, you're the least fun to take out to dinner because you don't try anything new. And he's not wrong. But I like what I like. A girl likes what she likes her palate. And over the years, I've definitely been more explorative. I still have, my boner jams, the things that I am going to go to instantly that I know get me there. We all have that. But I try really hard to say yes to new restaurants, to new experiences, to new outings, to things that are going to shift how I perceive myself. Because if we are always going the same way home, if we are always eating the same food, we are in effect ignoring what else there could be. So today, Venus is trining Pluto and opposing Neptune. So we've got this lovely, helpful aspect to transform because Pluto is our planet of transformation and Venus is our love sector. It is in Libra. So we have this absolutely beautiful opportunity to transform how we're loving, how we're connecting, how we're bonding, that is going against the fantasy. I did a whole podcast on how we need to fire our gurus. Well, this is like that. We need to take each other down off the very high pedestals this week and just give each other the joy and the benefit of the doubt and a big human hug. We just need to see each and every person on this planet as just human. Because when we dehumanize through social media, when we dehumanize through celebrity, when we dehumanize through love, we unfairly put people in positions of power, and most of them don't even know they have it in our lives. There is a hierarchy in your brain of where each person stands. And if you want more on this subject, please do listen to my last podcast, the Firing Our Gurus, because I'm really playing with this right now, because this is the energy. This is a leadership energy. And in order to have new leaders, we have to lead differently. If you aren't comfortable with leading, then you especially need to step up and take a leadership position. Let's play with it today, Monday, Venus trining Pluto and opposing Neptune. If you are not the pants wearer in your relationships, if you are not the type that inserts yourself in a leadership role, well, baby, it is time. Play with it. Make a decision. Get in there. Get your hands dirty. Do you have a partner who's really used to always doing it all? Step on in. Come to the table. Assert yourself in your life. I'll say it again. Assert yourself in your life, but without ego. Because when we do it from that Leo, dysregulated Leo perspective, we lose the script. But when we do it from high road Leo, we're doing it with fun. We're adding oomph. We're putting character behind it. Do that. Do that. Because when we come playfully to the page, that is when we fill it with much richer story, is coming playfully to the blank page. Not trying to be profound, not trying to be funny, not trying to be any type of thing, just being. And that is the medicine of this eclipse season upon us, of letting go of Leo, of letting go of like these power players in our life and in the government and in the world. Take them on down. Because really, it's the people that aren't comfortable with leading that should be leading right now. They're the ones that should be walking on up to this podium and saying, I want to try now. We've done this. We've done this like alpha shit for so long. Men in power all the time. That's so great. Maybe new, maybe something different. Maybe the quieter person, maybe the person who doesn't need the power or want it is the person that should be stepping into it. And if that's you, then listen up in your life. Lock in. Make some decisions. Get in there. Get jiggy with it, whatever. Get in there and see if we could create a new paradigm when we don't need to lead or even want to lead. We just do. Tuesday, Mars moves into Cancer. Not great. All right. Mars, our warrior, doesn't want to be moving into our mother, homie, G, let's stay home and cry sign. All right. That is not tidy for Mars. Mars wants to be strong and powerful, but Cancer is strong and powerful. Because you know what the high road of Cancer is? Righteous connection to ancestral wisdom, mothering, and nurturing. So rather than putting on all the armor that Mars usually does to go into a fight, what this Mars is doing is disrobing. This Mars is laying down the armor. This Mars is saying, take me. I'm here. Just take me. And how vulnerable is that? Mars doesn't like to be vulnerable. That's not cozy. That's not easy for Mars because Mars has battles to fight. But imagine the funniest visual. I just imagine like the drummer of war. Boom, boom, boom. He's the one. He's actually the leader. Go figure. He's the one juicing up the warriors. Our musicians, our poets, our storytellers, our bone collectors. That is very Mars in Cancer. It's not always about the fight. It's about the feeling that gets elicited in the desire to fight. So the question is, why are you mad? Why are you happy? Why are you sad? Why? Because Mercury's here to help us answer a lot of questions this week too. So ask yourself a lot of questions. Why? Why am I so mad? What are you mad about? Why are you so guarded? Because that is what is uncomfortable about Mars moving into Cancer. It's asking us to take off the armor, to expose our nerve endings to the reality of the world. Ooh, ouch. But what I know about Cancer is that bitch is cardinal. All right? She is a starter. She moves. She has ideas. She births babies. All right? And to say that Cancer can't be a warrior is false. Cancer is original source, which is so funny because then in our society, Cancer is like a cancer. It's like a disease. But what it is it's invasive. What it is it's pervasive. What it is it is everything. It is original source. It is the thing that you are doing that if you do too much of it, expands into all of it. And Cancer births things. Cancer knows things. Cancer holds the story of us, the privacy of us. It is all the way down low. And what happens when the down low part of ourself gets exposed? Ugh! That's hard. That sucks. That's hard to do. And that's why Mars is unhappy here. But it is the disrobing, the disarming, the willingness to come into this life open. Because I think we've forgotten how to do that. That's happening on Tuesday. And Mercury, that same day, is opposing Pluto. So we might really resist this notion. We might really resist our transformation. We might really resist what it is that is pulling us forward. But like a magnet, we are still pulled. And also Mercury, though, is trining Neptune and Uranus on that same day. So even if we're not ready to transform, our thoughts are definitely ready to change and dream. Change and dream. What are you dreaming about? What are you wanting to change? Just think about it. Don't do it. You don't got to do it yet. Just sit with how uncomfortable feeling exposed is. Being honest. Being honest sometimes is the most vulnerable thing we can do because first, we don't want to hurt people's feelings. We don't want to hurt our own feelings. We don't want to admit that we're the orchestrators of our own garbage. No, we don't. But if we're honest, that's when changes happen. And when we start changing, then a little bit we butt up against our transformation. And with Mercury opposing Pluto and trining Neptune, it's asking us to get dreamy with it. And Venus is trining Uranus. It's asking our love sector to want to change it. So we can only make the changes, we can only dream the dreams when our heart and our thoughts are aligned. And Mars moving into Cancer says, got it. Aye, aye, Captain. Disrobing now. Cue fear. Cue intensity. Cue OMG. Cue then Wednesday, the solar eclipse. And while this solar eclipse is happening, our thoughts are sextiling Uranus. So first Venus, our love sector said, I'm ready for a change. And now eclipse. And now our thoughts are like, yeah, maybe this could be the plot twist I've been waiting for. Yeah, maybe I do want to do that. And then Thursday, Mercury sextiles Venus. So it's like first Venus says, okay, all right, bitch, I'm going to do the changing. And then Mercury is like, yeah, all right, I'm going to think about the changing. And then Mercury and Venus are going to come together and be like, let's review notes. Okay? How's your heart and your head? How's your head and your heart? How is it going? Are you feeling exposed yet? Are you fully disrobed? Do you still have your panties on? Off they come. That's weird. Soul panties, okay? Not actual. Don't be public nudity, okay? Like, that's not it. That ain't it. That's not the flavor. It is soul nudity, soul undies. Take them on off. And who are the people that you want to be around when you think about being this exposed? Ready, set, go. Who were those people? Who came to your mind the second I said that? Ready to be exposed. Who are those people? Because that's the lifeboat. These are our people that we are building the lifeboat with. And you might surprise yourself with the people that don't fit in that lifeboat. Maybe not even yourself, because we've been so ego-driven. So again, we hang up the armor. We hang up the chutzpah. We hang up the stories. We hang up the need to look and be and do a certain type of thing that we always are and do and act. We need to hang it up. Because the second we start moving different, is the moment the world shifts, because then it is seen through an entirely different perspective. It's seen through the eyes of you who has grown, who wants to grow, who is moving, who wants to move. And if you are none of those things, well, then hold on tight, guys, because it's going to be a bumpy ass ride. If you aren't willing to let go, if you aren't willing to imagine a new future, the future is going to look bleak. And this is what happens with ancestral changing of the guard. And I notice that a lot with our older mentors, with our older teachers, with our people who no longer understand us. This is what happens to teenagers. Imagine yourself a teenager right now, because there is that moment when you're a teenager where it all hits you all at once and you realize my parents are wrong, or at least you think they are. My parents aren't perfect. My parents don't actually know all the answers. And then comes all of this disarming, this disrobing of, well, if they don't know, then who knows? And this is where teenagers get a little feisty. This is when they start experimenting. This is when they start pushing back. This is when it's, I hate you. This is when the door slams. But the door always opens back up again most of the time. And their arms outstretched, and they need that comfort. They need a hand to hold in the darkness, because the darkness of realizing that nobody has it all figured out is an oh so dark place to be. And that's where we are. We're all just in puberty right now. Puberty. And boy, is that scary. I mean, this bitch is in menopause right now, and it is scary. Because without a period, without a cycle, without a routine, what is that? I'm just sweating. I'm just hot flashing. I'm just having moments of righteous insecurity. I have moments where at a concert, I had to pee so bad that I peed in the street and then peed on my pants and had to drive home in my underwear. And that is how life feels right now. I'm just driving on home in my underwear. But you know what it feels like? It feels like freedom. It feels like breaking out of the norm. And it was interesting riding on home in my undie pants. Interesting, because I'm a very conservative lady. I don't even own a two-piece bathing suit. And this freedom gained of disrobing, literally disrobing, and my own physical discomfort at the front end was matched by how amazingly entertaining it was on the back end. So that is a true story. It is an embarrassing story. It is my story. And I have a feeling that the literal version of that story of driving home in my underwear has represented itself metaphorically so many times in my life. And do you feel like you're just driving on home in your underwear right now? If not, time to take them pants off. It's time to do something that puts you in an uncomfortable position, because it is through pressure that diamonds are forged. It is through the mud that the lotus comes up. Insert any other soul metaphor here. That's where we're in right now. That is the vibe. And maybe that's not a comfortable vibe, but we do get a little bit of awesome this weekend when Mercury conjoins Jupiter. So we've done all this soul work. We've worked with Venus. We have worked with Mercury. We have aligned the heart and the thoughts. And Mars in Cancer has laid down the armor. We're literally driving in our underwear. And now Mercury is made bigger. Now we have expanded. Now we're really getting somewhere. Because what's hard about an eclipse where we're needing to let it go is that the sun is in Leo, Mercury's in Leo, Jupiter's in Leo. Leo is so big right now. And the Leo energy, I also did a podcast on Leo energy, so go listen to that if you want more of that. The Leo energy is big right now, and it is the thing we're needing to let go inside of ourselves that is dysregulated. That need for attention, the need for the pat on the head, the need for the likes, the need for the downloads. All that need ruins the 10 o'clock waffle date. Because if I had put all of this planning and expectation into a silly 10 p.m. waffle date at Sherry's, it surely wouldn't have been as special than my mom just saying, hey, you want to go get waffles? because that moment meant and means in my heart still everything to me. So I want you to look out for those moments where the world is just doing without you having to micromanage it. Take your hands off and just let the world amaze you, because Leo wants to amaze you. Leo energy is first kisses and butterflies in the stomach, and yes, and play, and your inner child, and your inner voice that says, I just want to have fun. And when we allow it, when we high road that, without needing attention, without needing it to be any certain way, that's when we really let the world unfurl itself to us and for us. And that's when we start hearing the song on the radio that then we hear in the grocery store, that then the person next to us in line is singing, and then the band is there and we're listening to it. That is righteous synchronicity with what is going on around you, because imagine how many people are listening to the same song as you right now. That's always happening. Imagine how many babies are being born right now. How many women are experiencing contractions right now. How many of us are on the verge of tears or laughter or screaming right now. Bigger, bigger, bigger. That's Aquarius. That's what we're needing to build up, is that we're all doing it. It's not just you. It's all of us. And if we can all come together to listen to the same song, imagine what we can do. I think about the goodness of religion and prayer, of when everybody in a circle is praying all together, that we are creating a healing vibration that resounds. It's when we're in a room listening to music all together and we are all feeling that sound in our bones and we're releasing ourselves to it. That's magic. And then we go and ruin it with context. Blech. And then we go and ruin it with religious rules. Blech. And then we go and ruin it with I didn't know the lyrics to the song. Ugh. That, my friends, is how we get it wrong. How we get it right is by praying all together without it being directed towards one God. How we get it right is by listening to the music without needing to know the lyrics. That's how we get it right, is by not needing to micromanage anything at all, but understanding that when my heart and my head align, I can really get truthful about what my next steps could be, would be, want to be. And then I start seeing how every day is aligning towards all of the things that I'm thinking and feeling, that I lean in to that the energy I emit is what brings that closer. That delusion in relationship and fantasy is beautiful, but try a new fantasy on for size. Be delulu in a new way. Don't order the same thing at the restaurant. I'll try not to. Boy, that chicken katsu though, guys. But try pleasure different. Because the more you can bring the joy, the more you can bring the heart, the more you can bring the you that is wanting to disrobe, that is wanting to take the armor off and travel home in your underwear, is the person that needs to take the wheel right now. Is the person that needs to just meet the present moment, to just meet it and say, hi, how are you? It's like long-term relationships where they go to a bar and pretend not to know each other. Hi, person I've known for 14 years. My name is, and go from there. The card that I pulled is breathe, and don't forget to breathe. Who remembers Jane Fonda workout? I still do Jane Fonda workout. Little known Jasmine Lee fact. I still do Jane Fonda workout. And she always says in the middle of all the hard moments, don't forget to breathe. And I always laugh because I'm like, who's forgetting to breathe? But it's me. I'm always forgetting to breathe. When I'm doing something hard, when we're transforming, when we're changing our minds, when we're disarming ourselves, boy, that's going to be hard to do if we're not breathing. So don't forget to breathe. Thank you so much for listening. As always, my call to action is to share me with someone who you feel would also be inspired. as hopefully you are, by what I have to say. What a weird world we live in. I can say anything I want, and I just talk and talk and talk, and the desire for others to listen is so potent inside of me. But really, it's not the desire for anybody to listen. It's my heart's desire to tell you how loved you are, how in process we all are, and how it's okay, that there's nothing wrong that you're doing. I mean, maybe some of you are doing something wrong. I don't know. Okay, listen, I'm not in your day-to-day, nor do I want to be. But it's more the inspiration that we can always do right. That no matter how much we messed up, no matter how much went awry, no matter how much we're sad, lonely, whatever, that every day is a chance to go get 10 p.m. waffles. And that by sharing me, I hope that we're all at some point going to end up at Sherry's together, eating some breakfast at 10 p.m. at night. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week.